Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Recipe Reviver. Today we are going to be making mashed potato croquettes. In almost every cookbook from the early 1900s and in the late 1800s, there are pages and pages of cookbooks that are dedicated completely to different kinds of croquettes. There's chicken croquettes, there's ham croquettes, there's cheese croquettes, there's mush croquettes, which is made with cornmeal. And then there are potato croquettes, and that's what we're going to make today. Today's recipe comes to us from 1895 and the Housekeepers and Mothers Manual. Potato croquettes, hypothetically, are supposed to be used with leftover mashed potatoes. I did not have leftover mashed potatoes. These are actually fresh made that I just boiled and mashed, and I added a little bit of milk to that, as would have been probably the habit in that day for mashed potatoes. The next direction is going to be to add 2 ounces of butter, which is 4 tablespoons, some egg. We have 2 eggs that are actually separated out. I have the yolk of 1 egg here, and then the whites of both eggs are here, as well as the yolk of the other. And then pepper and salt, and we're going to need breadcrumbs later on, as well as some oil. But it says to beat smooth the potatoes with the yolk and the butter and salt and pepper. I'm actually going to use my electric stand mixer to do this. They would not have done this in the original time period for this recipe, but we're going to do that just so it's ultra smooth today. Into the stand mixer goes 1.5 cups of mashed potatoes and 4 tablespoons of butter, and some salt and pepper. Once all of that is combined, we're going to add that 1 egg yolk in and then mix that until it's smooth. Got our potatoes ready, and the next direction is to turn these into balls, and then we are going to move on to actually turning these into croquettes. I'm not exactly sure how to turn this into a ball because it is just a very it's not a super thick mashed potato, so I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with that. But we're gonna give it a try and see how to do this here. Yeah, that didn't work. I am going to add some more plain potato to this to try to thicken it up a little bit before we turn these into balls. Well, it's a little bit stiffer, but it's certainly not a ball here. I'm really not sure what to do with this. Yeah, those potatoes were just way too loose to form into any sort of ball. I ended up adding about 1/4 cup of flour to this, and we'll see if this is manageable for now. But we are going to make kind of balls as best we can, and I'm going to set those out, and then we're going to get these ready to deep fry. Okay, the next step is to lightly flour these, and it says to dust them with flour. I'm not entirely sure how to do this properly, probably with my hands. Let's see if that works any better. It's about the same, I guess. But either way, you're going to get the outside of these with some flour. Just don't overdo it. And then we are going to beat the remaining eggs that we have, which is that 1.5 eggs, the 2 egg whites and the 1 egg yolk. And then we're going to dip these into the egg and into the breadcrumbs, and then into some hot oil that we have heating up. We're going to take our croquettes and wash them in egg and then into breadcrumbs, and then I'm going to set them on a tray before we put them into our oil. So after a very messy preparation of these things and washing my hands multiple times, I have some croquettes that are ready to go into the frying oil. In the back behind me on the stove, I have a cast iron pan, which I'm sure is what they would have been using in that day. And I've got some oil heating up, and we're gonna see how this goes to deep fry these. That's not bad. It's basically just mashed potato, as you would expect, with a crunchy coating on it. And I can't be mad about that, because if there's anything I love, it's a good mashed potato. And this right here is a good mashed potato. I will say that you kind of need to push this until the outside is almost to the point of burning, because the outside does not stay very firm if you keep it at a golden brown. It almost has to be on a darker brown to hold its shape. However, it tastes good. It has an interesting texture with the balance of the soft mashed potatoes with the crunchy breadcrumbs and egg coating on the outside. I'd recommend this. I will say it was a pain in the butt to make, with the mixture being too loose. I don't know if I would do this exact recipe again, but I definitely look forward to trying to make other croquettes in the future. And if you have some leftover mashed potatoes, this is a great way to use it up. We'll see you next time on Recipe Reviver.